Hi, I'm Vanessa,
I'm Cherstin.
and we have created this mindful movement sequence especially for you. And it is a slow vinyasa yoga inspired movement sequence set to a beautiful mantra that you can use anytime that you want to feel more uplift or more energy in your life. It's great if you're feeling anxiety and you actually want to feel more grounded. And you can do it anytime. You can do it first thing in the morning is a nice morning warm up, or last thing before you go to bed. And why don't you talk a little bit about what a mantra is?
Yeah, so a mantra is just translates basically to a mind tool. And so it's a really great thing that we use to help to focus the mind and bring more intention to it. So the Gayatri Mantra that we use in this sequence is a mantra that is a very ancient Sanskrit mantra that was created over 2,500 years ago. And it has a very powerful vibration and healing aspect to it. It's a very well known mantra, and I've set it to music that I wrote using a very specific intention, focusing on the light of pure consciousness that dwells within each of us. It's what we refer to when we say namaste. The divine in me bows to the divine in you. We're highlighting that that divinity within us, that pure light of consciousness. And so in this mantra, it's the intention of it is to really focus on that, so that when we focus on it, it grows and expands and creates a very strong, powerful, healing and transformative vibration. It's very cleansing to the body, to the chakras, and also to our aura.
So when I created the movement sequence to it, actually I first learned this mantra through Cherstin because she has this amazing course, Become Your Own Sound Healer, which I did and was really transformational for me. And I knew that I wanted to do a mindful movement sequence to it. And when I created the sequence, which is very a slow, fluid, yoga-inspired sequence, I set each one of the movements with intention based on the meaning of the mantra and the translation of the mantra. And it actually turns into more of like a movement meditation or a prayer. So the intention behind the mantra is really important. Coming up, I am going to show you the movement sequence. I'm going to really break it down for you and cover any safety tips that you might need to know. And then we are all going to do it together.
Yay!
All right, let's get started. So a couple of important things to keep in mind when doing this is, if you are an experienced yogi, a lot of times vinyasas or movement sequences are tied together with breath. Now, this movement sequence is actually going to move very, very slowly. So if you have a lot of experience with deep breathing and breathing control and all that kind of stuff, go for it. I am not going to instruct the breathing specifically in the video just because it would be so slow that it's breathe at your own pace. Make sure you're breathing deeply and that you're getting enough air. So that's part one. The next part is listen to your body always. So not everything is appropriate for everybody. This particular sequence has a lot of fairly flat back forward bends. If you have any kind of disc injuries or anything like that, you definitely don't want to do that. So you always want to consult with the doctor first if you have anything going on. Also, you will have to sometimes, some of you will have to modify. So, there's going to be a lot of, forward folding stuff like this. If you're really flexible in your hamstrings, fantastic. If not, it is totally okay to bend your knees to do that kind of stuff. One of the goals of this is, once you learn it, that you're going to do it repeatedly with just the music in a way that is very fluid and slow and opening. And part of the practice is actually getting to that point of really connecting all of the movements slowly. So that will happen with time. One more thing, there's an element of balance, because you'll see I'm going to be doing all of this with my legs together. So that it's actually harder to balance like that than like this, because if you have a bigger base of support, it's easier to balance. So if you do struggle with balance, I would start with the legs wider and then bring them in as you get more comfortable. And lastly, towards the end, I will be demonstrating some more advanced variations, which include going into releve, which is going onto the balls of your feet. So when you're doing releve like that, you want to really use your inner thighs and keep your ankles glued together. A lot of times you'll see this happening, and that's not what we're going for. So you want to really keep the ankles glued together when you do that. So The way the vinyasa starts is we're going to do a big sweep of the arms up and overhead with a little upper body back bend. Now you still want to keep the belly engaged. You don't want to just blow the ribs out and really hang into your lower back. So your belly is lifted, your tailbone is dropped, and then your sternum and your ribs are lifting, but you're still open in the back. From there, we're going to come into a slow forward fold. So it is going to be pretty slow, and in order to do this nice and slow, you actually have to use the backs of your legs to control the descent. You're going to want to keep your thighs glued together, and you can almost imagine that you're trying to kind of push your feet back like this. This is going to help engage the backs of the legs. So that's the first part. Then from here, we're going to come up halfway, and as we do that, we're opening the shoulder blades, drawing the shoulders down, and reaching the arms back. What you want to avoid is this, okay? So keep your pinky fingers as much down towards the ground as you can and really open the chest. Belly is lifted, spine is long. From there, we come back down, and remember, you may need to keep your knees bent. That is totally fine. We're going to move into chair pose from here. If you have any knee issues, you're going to make this a very small chair pose. Just a teeny little bend in the knees like this, or even less is fine. If you don't have any knee problems, and then from here, you're going to press into your heels. Try to make sure that your knees don't go past your toes, and you're slowly going to come up into the chair position. I want you to really pay attention that your ribs are pulled in, your belly is working, and your spine is long. No sticking your butt out and just sinking into it like this. So the backs of the ribs are lifted, the spine is long. Okay, then from here, we're going to do a nice little chest opening exercise. Elbows and hands as far back as you can get them. We're still in the chair pose. And then we're going to come straight up. Palms come together. And they come all the way down. You can squeeze the palms together, shoulders are low. And from here, we move into the part that Cherstin was talking about the energy coming up and around. So this is the part where I really want you to feel very intentional. Our hands come down. You may want to go into a little bit of a knee bend. It's optional. You're going to pull that energy up. Imagine it's traveling up through your body, through your heart, out of the top of your head. And then from here, we're going to spread that energy around like it's coming down around us in a fountain. Nice and slow. I like to visualize energy coming out of my hands. And then we come back to center. From here, we'll bring the arms up again. This is the last part. Optional here is that you can come into a releve. Okay? Ankles glued together. And then we slowly come back down. And then we start again, and we're going to do that 3 times, and that's the whole song. A quick little embellishment in the very beginning of the song. There's a quick intro that's just instrumental. We're going to be doing some floreos. I will link them in the video description. So there's a whole video about how to do floreos. And then we start. So remember, long spine, body's active, legs are active, thighs are glued together. It's okay to have a wider stance. It's okay to have your knees bent if necessary, and enjoy and have fun. All right, so we're going to run through it together one time with Cherstin just playing the music, and then we'll do it with the whole entire song. Ready? Okay. So remember, legs together, long spine, belly in, shoulders relaxed. So just starting with 3 floreos. Lengthening up. And folding forward, belly engaged, long spine. Shoulders back and down, sternum reaching forward, arms lift and fold. Preparing for chair pose. And arms opening up, shoulders low. Lengthening up. crown of the head. And then bringing it down. And then lifting up. And then we go back to the beginning. And then we repeat that 3 times. And that's it.
tapaha, satyam, tat savitur, varenyam, bhargo, devasya, dheemahi, dhiyo, yonaha, prachodayat. Tapaha, satyam, tat savitur, varenyam, bhargo, devasya.